Hey guys, it's Phil and today we're going to be making a no-bake biscuit chocolate cake. So it's not the normal kind of chocolate cake or cake we make. The bottom layer is going to be a biscuit and chocolate sauce mixture, and on top we're going to be pouring in chocolate ganache. Then we're going to be keeping this all in the fridge for around 2 hours to completely set, and then this no-bake cake is going to be ready. Even after we mix the biscuits with the chocolate sauce, it's going to be nice and crunchy, and it's going to give the overall cake a nice crunchy bite. It's a very rich and fancy dessert to be served when you have guests over. You can try this out, and especially if you're a chocolate lover, you're going to love this cake. So let's get on to making it. First, into a heated pan, we're going to be adding in some nuts. 3/4 cups almonds and cashew nuts together. We're going to be dry roasting these just until it starts getting that golden brown burn. Then we're going to be chopping these nuts up into tiny pieces. We're going to be using some of the nuts in the biscuit batter and some of them for decoration. So once you've chopped it up, I'm going to set around 1/4 cup aside, just enough for decoration. And then the rest we're going to use for the biscuit mixture. Then we're going to be using biscuits. So I've taken normal wheat biscuits. These are called digestives. You can use any sort of biscuits you like. Graham crackers will work fine too. And then we're going to be using our hands and just breaking them down to pieces like these. Do not crush them. If you do, then when you pour in the chocolate sauce, it's going to be a soggy mess and you're not going to get that bite of the biscuit. So just break them down into pieces like these. Then add the nuts, mix and set aside. Next, we're making the chocolate sauce. For that, here I've taken a pan. We're going to be combining all the ingredients in. Add in cocoa powder, sugar, vanilla extract. Then pour in the water and mix all of these ingredients together. Let the cocoa powder and sugar dissolve in the water. So after mixing it, you might see that the cocoa powder is quite lumpy in the mixture, but that's okay once you start heating it up, and when it turns to a sauce, all that lumps are going to dissolve into the sauce itself. Then add in the butter. So when we keep it on heat, the butter is going to start melting. You don't have to worry about it right now. Then keep it over the heat and let that boil. So the butter is going to start melting, the mixture is going to come together. Then you need it to start bubbling really well and coming to a thick sauce like this. Once you think it's thick enough, you can off the flame and set that aside to come to room temperature. So cooling it down to room temperature is a very important step because you shouldn't pour the hot sauce into the biscuits. The biscuits are going to start getting soggy immediately. So let that cool down and then pour in the sauce. After pouring it in, just slowly mix up the biscuits with the sauce without breaking the biscuits. Once that's mixed up, you're going to immediately transfer it to a setting pan. So I've taken a 6-inch removable bottom tin. When it's removable, then it's going to be much easier to get this cake out because you can't flip it over since there's ganache on the top. So make sure to use a side tin, or you can keep parchment paper and pull it up in the end. So just layer that out. And then we're going to be keeping this in the fridge for 30 minutes. Let that set. And then we can start preparing the ganache. So while it's setting in the fridge, we can make up the ganache because the ganache also needs some time to cool down before you pour it onto the biscuit. Let's heat up the cream. You don't want the cream to boil, but you just want the sides to start bubbling lightly. Once it's heated up, you can pour it on top of the chocolate. Let that sit for around a minute. After a minute, you can mix it up. So once you start mixing it, you should see that it started coming to a nice thick chocolatey mixture like this. We need the ganache to thicken and set up on top of the biscuit mixture. So make sure that the proportions are always right for the ganache. And once the ganache mixture has come to room temperature, we're going to be pouring it on top of the biscuit and sauce mixture. Use a spatula, level it towards the sides, and then you can keep this into the refrigerator for a complete 2 hours until it's nice and set. When you take it out, you need to be able to see that the chocolate ganache has thickened up really well. So after it's out from the fridge, you can take it out of the pan. For that, I'm going to be running a knife along the sides and removing the outer tin. Now you can do the decorations you want on top of this cake. I've set the nuts aside from earlier. I'm just going to use that and make a ring along the sides. It's simple and fancy. And once the decorations are done, the no-bake biscuit chocolate cake is completely ready to be served. Make sure to use a really sharp knife while cutting it because there are biscuit and nuts. So it's going to be quite hard to get into it. But after that, when you take it out, you can see that amazing print of the biscuit and the chocolate sauce. On top, we have the ganache. It kind of gives a really nice leopard print, which looks very cool. A delicious recipe, so if you have guests over, make sure to serve it to them. Also, if you're a chocolate lover, please do try this recipe. It's really good. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Thanks for watching. Love cooking. Bye bye.